Okay, if I can call the meeting to order.
Ross,
Here.
White,
Here.
Taylor,
Here.
Robinson, Baxter,
Here.
Harris,
Here.
Ginn,
Here.
and Height.
Present.
Quorum is present, sir.
Oh, man. Thank you very much. I invite you to stand, and I'm going to lead us in prayer and pledge. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the opportunity to serve our community. 2018 was a wonderful year, and we certainly do thank you for that and know that 2019 is going to be even better. Please help us to make the right decisions. Lead us in the direction that you would choose for us to go. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Approve the minutes of the previous meeting, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Ginn?
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Communications, anybody want to pull a communication?
At number 5 and 6,
5 and 6.
please.
Anybody else? How about a motion to approve 1, 2,
4.
and 4? Motion to approve 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8.
So moved.
Second. On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Ginn?
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
Number 4 by title or read?
By title.
It is on.
Did you say read it?
By title.
Read it by title?
This is a letter from C. Tad Bohannon, Chief Executive Officer, Central Arkansas Water, to Mayor Smith regarding proposed adjustments to basic water rate schedule.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Ginn?
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
Number 5, do you want it by title or in its entirety?
In its entirety, please.
A letter dated January 8th, 2019, to Mayor Smith. The subject is Notice of Public Involvement Meeting, Arkansas Department of Transportation Job Number 061506, Chilcutt Bayou, Highway 176, Pulaski County. Dear Mayor Smith, the Arkansas Department of Transportation will hold a public involvement meeting for the subject property on Thursday, January 24, 2019, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. The meeting will be held at the Levy Church of Christ, room 1001, located at 5124 Camp Robinson Road in North Little Rock. This open house meeting is for interested citizens to view displays, ask questions, and offer comments about the proposed project. You are invited and encouraged to attend this meeting and offer your views concerning the project. Any publicity you might give this meeting will be appreciated. If you have any questions, please contact me at 501-569-2379. Sincerely, Ruby Jordan Johnson, Section Head, Public Involvement, Environmental Division.
Move to accept and file.
Second.
Comment.
I just want to say for those who are watching at home or on the interwebs, the project here is looking at replacing that culvert that goes underneath Camp Robinson right around 54th. Is exactly what this is about. In this open house forum that they have, it's an opportunity for folks to just come in, drop in, drop out kind of a thing, where you can see the plans and get an idea of what they're proposing. So appreciate everybody that's interested in that showing up. and looking at those
Absolutely.
plans.
Chris, is Chris in the room? He must be across the street.
He's in the building, but
Robert and Chris both, the lady that lives right there on that corner that we visited numerous times with flooding issues in her yard, please make sure that she's aware of this and so that she can attend and listen to what the Highway Department's got to say. Thank you very much. On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Ginn?
Yes.
And Height.
yes.
Number 6.
You can just read by title or explain it, or
Okay, this is a memorandum from City Attorney Amy Beckman Fields to the City Council members regarding the simplified procedural rules of the City Council.
move to accept and file, and then I'd also like Amy to comment on this.
Okay, how about, all right, Amy?
As I was looking over the procedural rules for the city council, and I sent this out to you all late last week, I pulled the various code sections and ordinances that establish you all's rules. There's some old code sections that have been amended from time to time, and so the rules are not all in one place. There have been a couple of changes proposed to me. One is to replace aldermen with city council members, and another proposed change is to allow a sponsor of legislation to designate another person to call the legislation, even though that's been done by practice. It is not consistent with our ordinance. It's been an accepted practice, but just to clear that up. And so if anybody else has any suggested changes, what I thought would be a good idea would be to draft a new ordinance either for the next meeting or the first meeting in February that repeals all the old ordinances and has a new ordinance that sets all the procedures out in one place so that they are easy to find and available for you all and for the public.
Okay, anybody got a problem with that?
No.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
How about special call?
Special call, and I'm trying to find where the letter is. And evidently, someone kindly removed that from my book. Helping me out. Hand me your letter.
That's not it. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the letter that publishes the special call.
The previous occupant of that seat would be much more organized.
There's a resolution that says, all right.
Carlos knew.
All right, so basically, we have an email that was sent out last week. I'm gonna just ad-lib here, from the city attorney announcing a special call for today at 6:05 PM, and the item on the agenda is R 1907, a resolution authorizing payment accommodations for North Little Rock Electric customers who are federal employees without pay due to the government shutdown. That was sent to all council members, and all have acknowledged the same.
All right, how about a motion?
Move for adoption.
Second. We need to read it, I guess, first, don't we?
Yes, sir. A resolution authorizing payment accommodations for North Little Rock Electric customers who are federal employees without pay due to the government shutdown.
Okay,
For
Ms. Ro-
adoption.
And a second by Mr. Taylor. Any discussion on this? Pretty cut and dry.
Can you just explain, though, that, I mean, it's not a forgiven, it's just a,
Right. We're going to allow them, if you are a federal employee that has been furloughed and is not drawing a paycheck from the federal government right now, that we will give you up to 30-day extension on your electric bill. You will not be charged a penalty, and this will expire this time next month unless we decide to continue it. Okay, on the motion. Mr. Height?
Ross?
Well, I
Yes.
was just to say, does this only apply to one bill only? And if we go to a second bill, then electric bill, then we got to do this again?
Right. You agree with that, Scott? Okay. All right, on the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Let's go into public comment on upcoming legislation. First one is Brent Treese.
Mayor, council members, we thank you again for your time this week.
Catch your mic there, Brent. Pull it toward, there you go.
We appreciate you again for your time this week, and thanks for, I know we've met or at least spoken to all of you at some point over the last 10 days, and we really appreciate the time, and you know, we're really excited about continuing to work with you guys in the future, but we just wanted to set the record straight, particularly as we're voting on an amendment to a handbook that was passed on December 10th. Came up December 26th to speak, to try to put some more accurate information out. And we just wanted to let the record show that we as a union body really have a hard time getting our head wrapped around anything that has to do with this handbook when our contract has been pushed off as long as it has. As I said, on the 26th, we conceded to every issue that was put in front of us. And the same, as a matter of fact, we conceded November 30th formally with a proposal that was submitted to the mayor and Chief Bradley. And then the pitch was made on December 10th, which was obviously after. And so we definitely have conceded to both of those, yet still not gotten anything signed yet, and continue to adjust a handbook that is here because we don't have a contract signed. And the contract the proposal that was sent back to us a couple of days after the 10th meeting, despite the fact that it's been said publicly many times that there's only two issues, two hangups. And this is the contract. All the red is the changes. This is the contract that was submitted to us. There, as you can see, there are far, far more than two changes, and I just hope that we keep that in mind while we're talking about this handbook, and we're really excited about the opportunity to work with you all and look forward to progressing forward with you, working with you. So thank you.
Thank you. Robert Fury, R 1905.
Robert Furia, 7205 Pontiac Drive, North Rock, Ward 4. First of all, I'm happy that you have separated the police and courts building from the airport as relates to issuance of revenue bonds. I support the airport. R 1905, concerning revenue bonds for financing improvements to the North Rock Airport. I'm reluctant to support it at this point. And by the way, as a reminder, I'm a civil engineer. I'm retired. I was in private practice for 35 years as an airport engineer with Garver and Garver in the 70s and 80s, other firms after that. I understand that the city does have Garver on retainer for 5-year call engineering services. To my knowledge, you have not involved Garver, the airport's engineer, in any of these preliminary drawings or cost estimates. Yet the involvement that I've seen that you have had in approaching this resolution for a bond issue is a small architectural firm out of Oklahoma that specializes in designing buildings for healthcare institutions. I've not been able to find any significant experience by this firm that has done your preliminary drawings and cost estimates for airport improvements. I've not found any evidence of their having any experience in airport matters or any familiarity with the State Aeronautics Commission and its funding programs or the FAA Southwest Region in any of its funding programs. Anytime you propose building improvements on or near an airport, you must notify the FAA in advance of intent for construction on or near an airport, because there are airspace matters. I have had North Rock Airport as a client in the 70s and 80s when Mayor Hayes was chairman of the commission. But there's a long history of shenanigans at the airport supported by the city council, by the city, and there's a bunch of odd bedfellows that benefit from some of this questionable decision making. My phone number is 501-240-7800. If anybody wants to know more details about shenanigans, please call me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, consent agenda. Anybody want to pull anything on the consent agenda? Seeing none, all in favor of the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Councilmember Ross and Councilmember Baxter, thank you so much for agreeing to serve on these two, and y'all will be sworn in directly after the meeting, so thank you very much.
And Councilmember Ross has her first board meeting tomorrow
At 2.
at 2.
And I believe we've got your board's going to meet sometime quickly, so probably this week, so Chief Bradley will be in contact with you on that.
Roger that.
Okay, new business 1904.
1904, Mayor Smith, a resolution expressing an intent to issue revenue bonds for the purpose of financing construction of a police and courts building, authorizing the mayor to execute engagement letters with bond counsel and underwriters.
About a
For
motion.
adoption.
Do I have a second?
Second.
On the motion.
I have a question,
Question?
or just comment. This is for the additional 10 million for the police and courts building,
Correct.
on top of the 20 million. Now, we won't have the 20 million until the end of 5 years, basically. So are we going to borrow money now, or how will that work out?
Yeah.
How is that going to be paid?
Yeah.
So is it 30, I mean, will we prepay?
Yeah, I
or-
mean, Karen, can you address that a little bit? I mean, other than, once we get a budget, then we're going to try to figure out, how much our bond issue is going to have to be. But everything we're going to do is come back to you. And I'm speaking for you, but as I told Jane today, Councilmember Ginn, that this is a very unique situation, the fact that we don't need to borrow the money right now, but we need to know if it's sellable, if the bond's sellable, number one. Number two is what the interest rate's going to be. And we don't really want to pull any money out of it because I don't want to start paying interest right now.
Right.
So we got to get a little bit further on down the road before we can come back and go, okay, it looks like that the sales tax money is going to run out in the middle of 2020. So we might very well just do a short-term loan at that time from the bank, to get us until the building's completed. So am I three-fourths right?
And, I mean, they haven't even started on plans yet, so as far as projected timeline for funds needed and so forth, we don't have any of that yet,
Okay.
so.
Just want to make sure we pay the least amount of interest possible, and I know that's what you're looking at then.
Absolutely,
so
that's my goal.
that's-
Yeah, and we just needed your blessing for us to go ahead and start working on, projections on when we're going to run out of money, when we need the money, if the bonds are sellable, which we feel very certain that they are, and what the interest rates are going to be. So-
Or if we come back and we don't need the money.
Yeah, I hope
That
you're
would-
right.
that-
That would be great. Okay, yes?
When might we need the money?
Well,
Seriously,
the,
I hadn't asked that question.
you got a ballpark on that, Karen? Yeah, I mean, we can get that for you, but I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I don't know how much we've got in that account right now. We've been collecting that half penny for, a year now? Yeah. So we'll get a little bit better feel for it here. Yeah.
That we basically only have 4 million designated a year towards this building, so it's only 4 million a year then that we've got coming in.
Right.
So that's where,
Right. But, let's say that, by the time that we break ground, we're going to have, 10 and 8, we'll have, 18 months worth, so that's going to be 6 million. And, so that'll get us started. I'd be willing to bet we don't need any money, maybe until spring of next year. But we can probably make a stab at that, and we will, let you know.
but haven't we, can I have the floor?
Sure.
But haven't we already paid the $500,000 out of that also to purchase for the,
Right, and we'll spend some more money tearing it down, too,
Oh.
so, yeah.
Mayor, well over a year ago, you remember we met and we developed the budget for these different projects each year. And so the money that we thought that we would need for the police and courts building is not necessarily 5 million a year either. So we knew it was going to be a while before we started that building, but I'll be happy to get you this spreadsheet. And again, this was developed well over a year ago based on what we thought these projects were going to cost. So there's a spreadsheet that shows how much for streets and drainage and fire and police and courts each year. I'll be happy to get you this spreadsheet.
Mayor,
Yeah.
does this include the airport?
No,
Not at all? It's
this is
30
on the
million
police
just
department
for the
only,
police-
right?
All right, I'm just,
Police and Courts Building, Justice Building, what do we end up calling it? Yeah.
And this is only for 10 million.
What we're doing is we're recognizing that it's gonna cost, we've got 20 million in the bond, in the sales tax, and it's gonna cost us 30, so we're gonna have to go, when it's all said and done, we'll have to borrow $10 million. Yes, ma'am?
Do you have to borrow the 10 million, or is this like a draw on it?
We don't know. That's why we wanted your permission, so that we could sit down with bond counsel
Go get it.
and try to figure out, how do we do this when we really don't need the money right now? They might tell us that they can't hold the interest rate for that long, but they could at least tell us that it's sellable and that the price is going to be, it could be between 3.8 and 4.8. That way we can at least try to budget, and so we can come back to you at that point in time and say, this is what we're going to have to borrow, and this is how much it's going to cost. Okay? Do we have a motion and a second?
Sure.
On the motion,
Ross?
Yes?
White?
yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Ginn?
Yes,
And Height?
Yes.
R 1905, Mayor Smith.
I'm going to hold it, please.
Okay. R 1906, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into a contract with Thomas Engineering Company Incorporated to provide professional services for the 6th Street Design Project, Main to Magnolia, and for parking lots east of the trolley barn.
How about a motion?
So move.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes?
White?
yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Ginn?
Yes,
And Height?
Yes.
Ordinances 1901, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 9061 as to vacation and sick leave benefits for uniformed employees with the North Little Rock Fire Department. First reading.
Move spin the readings?
Second.
Got a motion to suspend all readings on the motion.
Ross?
Yes?
White?
Yes,
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Ginn?
yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Amendment?
On the amendment, this will just, in the end of section 1, where they're deleting and then they're adding an amount not to exceed the number of hours accrued in the year, this sentence that I want to amend in, this will match exactly what the police department has, so it's just matching the police department. And it says, upon separation from employment, accrued vacation leave time will be paid lump sum at the employee's base rate of pay at the time of separation. Just want to make sure that we get that in there.
Absolutely. How about a second on that motion?
Second.
On the motion.
On the motion to amend, Ross?
Yes?
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Ginn?
Yes,
And Height?
Yes.
All right, how about a motion to adopt as amended?
So move.
You second it?
Second, and then I have a comment.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I know that there's been discussion, several of us have met with the fire department on the handbook and the contract and everything. And as I explained, this is just one step in the handbook. This handbook can be amended, it can be changed every single council meeting. So
Exactly.
as soon as everybody gets together and gets all on the same page as soon as possible, hopefully, on the fire contract, then we'll be right back here to amend that also, amend the handbook.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
and if we can just all get a date soon, sit down, and everybody get on the same page.
Correct.
We're ready to go.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
I want to kind of echo what Alderman Ross said, or Councilmember Ross said. I met with the fire department last Friday and members of the firemen's union, and I told them the same thing that I told you, that I'd like to see us all get together in a room and work this thing out where everybody's happy and is going about doing, we got other fires to fight, but let's
They do too.
do what we can to make everybody happy in this, and I appreciate your efforts and their efforts too in getting that done.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Talked to Lynn Deershaw, and he's the president of the firefighters union, and he promised me that he would get back with any corrections that needed to be done by this Friday. And hopefully, in the next week or so, we can get it completely resolved. That's what they're hoping
Great.
also.
We're looking forward to this Friday. Thank Lynn for us.
Well,
Okay, on the motion.
On the motion to adopt as amended, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor? Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
yes,
Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
yes,
And Height?
Yes.
01902, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
An ordinance amending the small wireless communication facility regulation to approve streetlight pole attachment design for small wireless facilities. First reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
A motion to suspend all readings on the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
yes,
And Height?
Yes.
I bet a motion to adopt.
So move. Another question
Second.
now.
Question.
She had her hand
No,
up.
I just want, this is strictly for streetlights. This is not for decorative poles, so is Sean here, or he can explain, or, I don't know,
Sean's
Mr.
here.
Springer, as far as, when do they bring back, if they want to replace a decorative pole, the process for bringing back the decorative pole?
Not me.
Oh, sitting right,
Amy,
With the streetlight poles, the electric department had worked with AT&T to come up with this design, which the electric department approved and liked. And so when it's time for decorative poles, they're gonna do the same thing. And so we'll be adding another amendment then to approve a design for decorative poles. We just don't have it yet.
because this is our first streetlight pole, so
Right.
so when the decorative, we'll come back and we'll have a photo of exactly what it
Right.
look like. Okay?
you right with that, Scott? Yes, ma'am.
Just one comment. It's way better than the things we looked at earlier. Way better.
This is, needless to say, it's just pretty crazy.
Mayor.
Yes.
Last council meeting, we supported joining that lawsuit. Does that have any effect on this?
It does not have any effect on this, and as an update to the lawsuit, the reason we had joined that was because we had hoped that the Eighth Circuit would issue a stay of the new FCC rule. The Eighth Circuit declined to do that and denied the city's motion, and also transferred it to be joined with the other cities and parties that have appealed the ruling, and transferred it all to the Ninth Circuit. There are several major cities and communities and high-powered law firms that are involved in that litigation, and so it would be very expensive for us to continue, and we really would not be adding anything to the fight. We don't have anything additional that would be coming from us that's not already coming from San Jose and Philadelphia. And so in visiting with the mayor, we thought that the most prudent thing to do was go ahead and withdraw, since there's not anything that we're going to add to that, and it would be money well spent.
We are supporting it. I went down to Dallas sometime recently and met down there with our committee that I'm on, and the U.S. Conference of Mayors is leading the charge, and the committee that I'm on for the National League of Cities is doing the same thing. So we've got the U.S. Conference of Mayors watching our back as best as possible, NSU doing the same thing, and some of these other lawyers are watching it. So there wasn't any reason for us to, there was a reason in the 8th District, but there's not in the 9th. So they're trying to root it for us, and we might add a little money to the legal fund for the U.S. Conference of Mayors. I just hadn't decided yet. But if we do, of course, I'll come back to you guys. Question?
Real quick, Mayor, so these other cities that are going to the 9th, do they have municipally owned electric departments?
Some of them do.
Okay.
Yes,
All right, I'm just making sure we're covered down.
We are.
Make sure we're apples and apples.
But the other big issue for everybody else is that everybody's got right of way that the federal government's trying to say that we can just take, somebody else can take it when they want to. And so those are the big issues, no doubt. So that's where we are on that. Have we voted?
We haven't voted, but there is a motion to adopt.
And we had a second?
Yes, sir.
On the motion?
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
01903, Mayor Smith.
Please call it.
An ordinance granting a waiver of Section 13.2 of the zoning ordinance to allow a reduced number of parking spaces for certain real property located at 811 S.A. Jones Drive and 813 S.A. Jones Drive in the city of North Little Rock. First reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
On the motion to suspend all readings?
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
How about a motion to adopt?
So move.
Second.
Questions, comments on the motion?
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Concludes new business.
Thank you very much. Jimmy Yard.
I'll do the police warm and fuzzy first, then I'll do your warm and fuzzy next. And if I go over 3 minutes, since I'm talking about you, I just feel sure you let me.
You still got a 3-minute limit, so let me get out my phone so I can watch it.
Several weeks ago, you won't mind?
No.
Several weeks ago, I had to call for an ambulance. And when you call a dispatch, the call goes out over the police computers also. And I didn't ask for a police, I asked for an ambulance. So here comes the fire truck and the ambulance. And then there was a police car showed up. And I asked him, I said, you don't normally dispatch police when someone calls for an ambulance. And he said, I saw your address and your name come across the screen. And he didn't know if I was having trouble with a protection order, I had to get a what. So he, without being dispatched, come over and checked on me. We've got some good policemen. You might not think they know what's going on, but with the new communication systems that's out available now, they know more than you think they do. Okay, Mayor, I'm ready to talk about you, if it's okay.
Okay, make it short.
How much time I got left?
10
Got a
seconds.
minute left.
I don't believe you, but anyway. I don't think a lot of the people realize what Mayor Joe Smith has done for this city. He's paid off a lot of debts, and I know more than the average mayor. I probably know about as much as all the council members up there except the new one. But he's done a great job, and he tries to work with anyone he can. I know this from several people I've talked to. So let's give him a chance on everything he's trying to do and don't run him down. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ard. I'm glad our officers are there. We would miss you if something happened to you. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Brett Ake.
Good evening, Your Honor. Good evening, council members. My name is Brett Ake. I'm here on behalf of the Faulkner Crossing Property Owners Association. When I was here last time, I wanted to thank, first of all, the North Little Rock Fire Department for coming out and putting out the grass fire that was in the Lot 10 of our subdivision. They did us all a great favor. You guys are heroes, and we appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Secondly, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Mayor, for sending out your chief of staff, talking to us about our problems. We now understand where the city's coming from when it comes to what can and can't be done as far as inspections go. We can't say that we agree, but facts are facts. If we don't have the people to do it, we don't have the people to do it. With that being said, we have submitted the bills to our council members for our losses incurred from not having these inspections done in advance. And the only other question we have for this council is, what are we going to do about our sinkholes? One in particular, Mr. Maurice Taylor has the address. It will fit a large-size SUV in it. It's at least 25 feet deep, and you could drive the car straight in. It's been there for 3 years. We have smaller ones forming all over, and they're a direct result from Roush Coleman not cementing the casings in when they did the substructure underneath the street. They weren't inspected. They were inspected afterwards, and you can't tell if a pipe's been concreted from the outside when you're only inspecting the inside. That's all we're at. We need to know, who do we talk to, or how do we make it so that we can actually go in and address all of these separate issues at once?
Okay, thank you for your
Thank you.
comments. You bet. Nick Frankie.
Sir, ladies and gentlemen, I wish I'd coordinated with Mr. Fury before this, because I am here to address some of what he called the shenanigans out at North Little Rock Airport. They're here begging for money again. In the last 3 years, the citizens of North Little Rock have given that airport $300,000. That's almost $500,000 since this mayor's been in office. For what? They want to build a cafe out there. I say let the rich folks that fly those airplanes out there build their own cafe. We don't need to build it for them. I don't think we ought to build it for them. They need to raise their own revenue and build their own cafe. And then the part where we're looking to give the municipality, the fire department a raise, I want to know 2014, $89,000 missing from contract penalties with Blackstone Construction at the airport. 2015, $65,000 went to repave the private parking area of one of the airport commissioners, Donald Blakey. That's our money. That's not the money from their taxes, from the FAA grants. That is our money out of North Little Rock people's pockets, out of your pockets. That's not going to the fire department that's worked and strived very hard to get to be ISO Class 1 in the past couple of years. No, we're taking money so they can't have their raise. 2016, $57,000 to Tom Brooks, the owner of Synergy, to a no bid, no work statement, no contract. I did an FOI on that, and the doggone, the manager at the North Little Rock Airport doesn't know anything about it. He just said, I was told to pay him, and he did. 2018, this is what I'm really here for. Don Blakey, one of the mayor's appointed commissioners on the North Little Rock Airport Commission, attacked me, viciously attacked me at a cafe up the street here, crept up behind me and attacked me because I've made these complaints, physically assaulted me. Then the North Little Rock Police Department, they were kind enough to try to cover it up, and they did a pretty good job of it. And to this date, they haven't done anything about it. I know that there's been an arrest warrant issued for them, but they never served it because it's the North Little Rock Police Department. And because I'm not going to use any other term, we'll say shenanigans. Thank you.
James Humphrey.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The North Little Rock City Council, those that are present. My name is James Humphrey, and I'm here representing myself and a supporter of the Holt Road Sewer Project. Some of them stand with me at this time and have signed this petition supporting this project. Please take a look at it. I'm here for the third time to request that the North Little Rock City Council extend the sewer line on Holt Road to the residents in this community that have a need of it. The Health Department has declared this area as one with soil conditions that do not conform to percolation rates that accommodate septic systems. Therefore, the sewer line is needed to improve the health environment of the citizens living in the area and all the citizens in the North Little Rock community. The sewer line will enable the household to be able to get rid of sewer waste in the best and safe way possible. There is sewer on the street One house has sewer, the others does not have sewer. It's unfair for some houses to have city sewer and not the others. The Holt Road community has been part of the North Rock city limits for over 30 years. In this time frame, nothing has been done to extend the city sewer line in the community. Patrick Hayes, when he was mayor of North Little Rock several years ago, wrote Executive Order number 92-1. This executive order was written to the planning director. The stipulation for executing the order were based on sufficient land being set aside for utilities. This has been done. However, to this date, no wastewater utilities have been extended in the area. Please take a look at Executive Order number 92-1. Further,
Can I ask you a quick question? On this petition, how many people on that petition live on Holt Road? Because I noticed several on there that I recognized. I know they don't live there.
probably one.
One person on that 55 lives on Holt Road. Okay, thank you.
Further, Arkansas Democrat paper show where North Little Rock wastewater have taken on over 7,000 Mall Mill wastewater customers with over $2 million worth of debt. This was done after this request was made. Normally, the best procedure to follow is to take care of the needs at home first, and then you can venture out and help somebody else. Please take a look at the article. The request to extend the sewer line down Holt Road is in line with the mission statement of North Little Rock Wastewater. This mission statement reads as thus: the mission of North Little Rock Wastewater is to provide safe, low-cost, high-quality sanitary sewer to the citizens of North Little Rock and other areas as directed. Utilities through its planning will also support the orderly growth of the community with the overall objective of preserving the health, well-being of the citizens and the environment. Please take a look at the mission statement for North Little Rock Wastewater. Request again is that the North Little Rock City Council extend the sewer line in the Holt Road community. The sewer line is needed so that the citizens in the area will be able to get rid of sewer waste in the best and safe way possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Can I just add something? now?
Absolutely.
I believe Mr. Humphreys was here. Was he here last year on the same issue? I think it was. At that time, we had, that's not the only area in the city that is not connected to wastewater. We've got, I know, Ward 3, you've got, is it Bellwood? You've got houses that have been there for years and years and years that are not connected. So this is not an isolated incident. It's, we've got that around the city.
Correct. It is, yes. She's absolutely right. I spoke with Mark Wilkins down at Wastewater. 860 households in city of North Little Rock is not connected to sewer, so their own septic tank. So Holt Road is not an isolated incident, and we've been speaking with Mr. Humphrey on this deal for 6-7 years, and Mr. Wilkins says that it's a minimum of 350,000, possibly 600,000 to run sewer line down Holt Road, and they don't have the money to do it.
And Mayor, and I think that we're talking about one house. That's what I'm thinking we're talking about. There aren't that many homes on Holt Road. And 2 of the homes, or 3 of the homes, and they're not on Holt Road, they're on Neely Road, which is adjacent to Holt Road. Those people have septic tanks. And on Holt Road, where Mr. Humphrey is talking, there's only one house. So the 800 and some homes, they're spread it out throughout the city.
Right. Just to correct one thing, Mr. Humphrey, that you said is, the Maumelle residents paid dearly for that wastewater. It's added onto their bill. I don't know what it is, but it's pretty high. It was $24 a month. Yeah, that's on top of their normal bill. So, anyway, everybody else has to pay to get the wastewater to them, so they did too.
And Maumelle already had the lines to the house, is that correct?
Well, part of them.
Part of them.
We had to get some more lines
And
out there,
some
but
of
they
them.
had to pay for it.
But they had to pay for it, that's what I was getting at.
Right. Okay, any council member have anything for good of the order? Any announcements that we
I
need?
just want to
Okay.
say that I'm excited to welcome my new seatmate, Jane Ginn.
Absolutely, Jane, thank you for being here. Thank you for giving back to your community. We do appreciate you. As I said, I think the last time we met that she's, well, when we did swearing-in ceremony, that she's taking a drink from a fire hose right now, but we're here to help you. Feel free to ask any questions at any time of us. Looking forward to seeing you this week at the Municipal League Winter Conference, and hopefully you can learn a lot from that. So with that, Ms. Whitby?
Just wanted to remind residents that Monday is a holiday, but garbage routes will not be delayed Monday. They will run as scheduled. Mr. Ford let me know that last week.
Good deal, and I think it's on Facebook page too. City offices will be closed on Monday, but sanitation will run normal routes. Mr. Baxter?
Just real quick, Mayor, I want to echo the sentiments from several of my colleagues here earlier about getting to a resolution with as far as the fire department contract and the handbook issue goes. I feel confident in my heart that both parties are going to come together and we're going to get this thing behind us. And kind of switching gears, but sticking with my brothers and sisters in uniform, although it'll be a different uniform. I just talked with Chief Davis before our meeting, and he got some numbers for crime for last year, and it was good information to hear. We're down. And I also commend the PD on their 9 p.m. routine. They hammer that on Facebook all the time, and it's about at 9 o'clock, contact your neighbors and make sure that your stuff is, all your valuables are out of your car, and that seems to be working because those numbers have gone down significantly. So we've got to keep hammering it, though. So thanks for the good work to our folks in uniform.
Absolutely. Ms. Ross?
And the Leaf Truck has started their second round in the city. They're in Area 1 today. So they've started their second round.
Up on the hill? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Ms. Robinson?
I just want to thank sanitation, excuse me, for the job that they're providing. We have a tire bandit, and ever so often, we happen to call sanitation to ask them to please come pick up the tires. And they, they take care of the problem, and so I really appreciate sanitation.
They do a great job. Probably best in the state, no doubt. Okay, how about a motion?
So moved.
Second.
On the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Gann?
Yes?
And Height? Yes. Thank you.